Grande è sinonimo di bello? No.
Grand is synonymous with beautiful? No, it is not even when the adjective is referring to a luxury product like a yacht. Indeed, super yachts are often clumsy, but what we see today will surprise you. It's called the Grande 27 METRI, built by AZIMUT Yachts. We are talking about the most important yacht builder in the world, and we are seeing a yacht that should be admired, not by its size, but instead by its style. I find it has an aggressive line, despite having a very spacious interior. The person responsible for these lines is Stefano Rienghi. He traced a strait whose upper part is almost vertical, and he designed these huge windows that rise from the hull to the first deck. At the bow, a succession of terraces on different levels. On the fly, the sofa turns around and faces the table. It is protected by the hardtop, which can be opened. There is nothing inconsequential, not even these forward-facing sofas with seating for 4. On the stern, the solarium, where we could find a whirlpool. This is the bar, but doesn't it look like a bow? AZIMUT, more than others, can afford to get out of the schemes. Moreover, innovation is also expected from the leader, so they have entrusted the interior and exterior furnishings to one of the world's top 100 designers, Achille Savagni. The metropolitan residential style is both surprising and intriguing on a boat. In fact, the accessories are a touch of home in a nautical context. There is a softness, a grace in these lines, in the bulkheads, in the furnishings, in the ceiling. In the living room, the sofas, armchairs and dining table can seat 10 people. The tones give a sense of serenity. Light pastel colours for the wall hangings, wallpaper, headboard, as well as the upholstery used for sofas and armchairs, prepared exclusively for AZIMUT. The owner's cabin is here.
Questo tipo di costruzione si chiama wide body.
This type of building is called a wide body because the cabin is found on the main deck and is as wide as the body of the boat. Here, however, they have exaggerated, even in the size of the windows, which go from floor to ceiling.
Gli arredi suggeriti da Salvagni sono pezzi unici.
The furnishings suggested by Savagni are unique pieces, designed and produced by expert craftsmen or by Salvini himself, and they clearly express the excellence of Made in Italy.
Una barca così merita accessori
speciali. A boat like this deserves special accessories. Oh, my watch. But how many does the owner have? Below deck there are 4 cabins, and to descend a beautiful staircase. So beautiful it will make your head spin. Two guest cabins with twin beds can become a very large VIP cabin, overlooking both sides, almost as big as the owner's cabin. Towards the stern, the other 2 cabins, which can be set up with either double or twin beds.
L'arredamento è speciale e originale.
The furniture is special and original.
Paratie che
Burnished brass spotlights, bulkheads that hide the cabinets, a bedside table with a particular handle. This is fake and this is real, and inside there is an outlet to change the phone while keeping it hidden, to leave everything in perfect order.
Tutto in perfetto ordine.
The forms of different objects coordinate perfectly with each other.
Nel bagno ospiti il top è di marmo.
In the guest bathroom, the countertop is marble. But look at these curious compartments and the taps, made especially for AZIMUT. And dedicated crew spaces provide a cabin for the captain and one for 2 sailors.
Questo yacht ha una raised pilot.
This yacht has a raised pilot house. This is a wheelhouse placed halfway between the deck and the flying bridge, but today we will pilot from the outside.
Alla velocità minima di planata.
At the minimum planing speed, 13 to 14 knots, it seems like you're on an island, not on a big yacht.
Intendo dire che è davvero
What I mean is, it's really stable and silent. Let's see what the sound meter says.
Questi livelli.
These levels, just slightly higher than 60 decibels, correspond to those of a steady boat, with the engines turned off.
In pratica sono.
Basically, it is the ambient noise, that of the wind and the waves.
Fin dalle più basse velocità si capisce che questa imbarcazione è stata messa a punto in maniera.
From the lowest speeds, it is clear that this boat has been set up in a very precise, impeccable manner. It enters into planing without having to use the flaps. It has an automatic control system, but above all, the time it takes to begin planing is surprising. Only a handful of seconds, almost like a small rubber boat.
Questo yacht ovviamente si sviluppa in altezza, ma le
This yacht is obviously very high, but the superstructures are made of carbon. This is very important for stability because it allows us to lower the centre of gravity. The roll bar, the hard top and the whole fly deck are made of carbon, in addition to the superstructure. The deck, however, is a mixture of fiberglass and carbon.
Diamo qualche dato di navigazione.
Let's look at some navigation data. At 20 knots, with the engines at 1,875 RPM, consumption is less than 400 litres per hour. In short, consumption is about 20 litres per mile at this speed. Indeed, even a little less.
Questa è una velocità di crociera ideale, 22 knot.
This is the ideal cruising speed, 22 knots. The engines are at 1,950 RPM and the total consumption is 470 litres.
Proviamo a prendere un
Let's try to get some data related to the noise level. I assure you that from here on the fly, what you hear is mainly the wind and the noise of the wake.
The
sound of the engines doesn't reach up here. I have to look at the instruments to know what we are sailing.
L'imbarcazione è omologata secondo I più elevati standard americani e europei.
The boat is certified according to the highest American and European standards, such as category CEA. And the manufacturer puts its own certification that attests the high value of the projects and the construction as well.
C'è una sola cosa che cambierei e ve ne starete accorti.
There's only one thing that I would change, and you would have heard it more than seeing during our test. The windshield. I need more shelter, not only for the microphone, but also because while sailing from here is beautiful. It is very enjoyable, but it gets very windy.
La carena ha pattini e spigolo molto pronunciati ed è stata disegnata da Pierluigi Ausonio.
The hull has very pronounced skates and edges and was designed by Pierluigi Sonio, who used analysis systems derived from aeronautics. Then, naturally, it was tested in the test tank and perfected. It is an uncommon way of working, not so typical, which increases the value of the product and the brand.
A proposito di alzare, anche la nostra velocità è piuttosto alta, siamo a 26 nodi con i motori.
Speaking of increasing our speed, it's quite high. We're at 26 knots, with engines at 2,200 RPM, and fuel consumption is about 350 litres per hour. At this moment, 27 knots.
Per una nave di queste dimensioni è una velocità molto elevata.
For a ship of this size, it's a very high speed, with two 1,900 horsepower, 12-cylinder MAN engines, of course, with shaft-line propulsion.
Guardate, il sistema che controlla automaticamente.
Look, the system that automatically controls the longitudinal trim of the hull has managed to improve the performance even further. We have reached 28 knots.
Una delle migliori sensazioni che si prova a bordo di questo grande 27 metri è il
One of the best sensations you experience on board this Grand 27 METRI is the route control, with the possibility to adjust the rudder response. So you can choose whether to feel the reactions of the hull at the tip of your fingers or have a stronger grip.
Sono tutti sistemi che AZIMUT.
They are all systems that AZIMUT has developed, not only to improve the comfort on board, but also to facilitate the command of this unit.
Io credo che questo grande 27 metri.
I believe that this Grand 27 METRI represents the best way to build a yacht. Style, innovation, new solutions for habitability, and above all, by exploring technologies that allow you to navigate better and better.